All right, so the news seems pretty good if you ask me. You got a booming economy, unemployment still dropping, a new Supreme Court judge who can actually stay awake. Peace is breaking out in the Koreas, and American pastors released from Turkey. And I just saw Michael Avenatti downtown selling pencils. He's so adorable in cardboard shorts. Yep, in 2 years, Trump solved more headaches than a boatload of buffering. So what are the polls saying, and should you believe them?
I believe in polls. Only the ones that have us up, because they're the only honest. Other than that, they're the fake news polls.
Yes. I think that made sense. So all this great news can mean just one road for the media. Keep looking for the bad, no matter how far back you gotta go. Check out this headline from The Hollywood Reporter about Donald Trump's senior policy advisor, Stephen Miller. You'll love this. Miller's third grade teacher says he was a loner and ate glue. Holy seriously, that's a real headline. Yeah, apparently Miller would dry glue and eat it, meaning Miller was just like every other third grader. Now, the teacher's been suspended for leaking this valuable info. I hope she's home right now making a scrapbook with a bottle of Elmer's by her side. But you know who's worse? The Hollywood Reporter. Seriously, how far have you strayed from your mission as a movie industry rag to do this story? How is eating glue Hollywood news? I can't wait to see your next scoop. As an unborn baby, Mike Pompeo once kicked his mom right in the womb. So how much you want to bet the teacher's a Democrat, as well as the reporter and the editor? Their hatred's so irrational that any behavior is permitted. Just ask the pantsuit.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
Now that's funny. I don't seem to remember her being civil to Monica, Juanita, or Paula. And is this the right time for her to lecture us on civility? Her party just ruined a man, and she tells us we're uncivil? That's like running over my dog, then billing me for the burial. By the way, Hillary and Bill are going on a tour together. She wants to make money, and he wants to make it to the letter R in his little black book. She wants to pay for the second renovation of their third home. He wants to have a foursome with triplets and a duplex. That creates 24 different combinations. And you can bet Bill's already done the math. So now it's about which side's more uncivil. If you bring up the left, the libs scream, "What about Trump? He's so mean." So my job today is to compare uncivil behaviors of the left and the right. So first, the left. You got the Scalise shooting, you got post-election riots, you got campus speech shutdowns, you got Antifa, remember Madonna? And then there was Johnny Depp. There were people chased from restaurants. You had Kathy Griffin. You had mobs chanting about wanting dead cops. That is a lot. It's not a bug in the system. That's the whole damn system. So what do we have on the right? This guy.
Licking Dianne Feinstein. Pocahontas. Sleepy Joe Biden. Crooked Hillary. Fake news. Fake. Danang Dick. Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd. He's a sleeping son of a bitch, I'll tell you.
So he's crass, he's rough, he's rude, but it's no comparison. It's just words. Yeah, once in a while we do get a wacko doing wacko, but our fringe stays fringe. We don't have them over for dinner. But the Dems have a bigger problem. Their party is riddled with hateful factions trying to scare you into accepting their demands. I'd call them a mob, but then the media might collapse.
Ted Cruz getting chased out of restaurants by a mob.
Oh, you're not going to use the mob word here.
It's totally a mob. Put up the video.
Mob? Stop.
That is mob behavior.
How many times has that happened?
Everybody stop. Matt, we already did that. We already said they weren't mobs.
If it were Tea Partiers, we'd call it a mob for sure. Come on, let's be serious.
Let me move past the M word.
It's the M word now. It's the M word. It's funny though how they respond in sync. It's almost like an M word. Look. When you enable groupthink as an unbending, intimidating force, you get a mob. It's not new. Left-wing belief is based on marrying the personal to the political in order to mobilize, then demonize. And if they consider you evil, they're justified in doing this.
Let's just go that way. Because I told you to.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Don't hurt
Yeah,
me.
brother.
Just go.
Yeah, you little white little.
Really?
Yeah, you're a whitey, little whitey, aren't you?
You just know that guy lives on someone's couch. And he has an entire microbial civilization living in his pants. So what's his...
white.
I know, he's white. That's just one of his problems. Maybe all of this good news is making these people nuts. Perhaps they need to take it out on something.
Hey, Tom, you going to the protest this weekend?
I'm out. I just can't miss another one of Cynthia's games.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm an angry liberal, but I'm exhausted. I mean, he just keeps winning. I wish there was an easier way to fight back.
There is now with Rage Pillow. The first pillow that reminds you that things are getting done, even if you don't like it. Just squeeze it and let all your frustrations out.
The greatest economy in the history of our country.
No thanks to you.
The Rage Pillow is so convenient, you can take it anywhere. Get angry at the office.
The lowest unemployment rate in 50
You can't
years.
take credit for everything.
Hi, thanks for holding. I was on another call.
At a restaurant.
The horrendous Paris Climate Accord.
You're killing Mother Earth. Temp check. Thanks.
Even at the movies.
Crooked Hillary.
She won the popular vote. Abolish the Electoral College.
Order now and we'll throw in the blow-up pilot from Airplane. You want to take back the house? You got to take back your life first with Rage Pillow.
We're going to win so much, you'll get tired of winning.
Stop winning. Stop winning. Ah!
Warning, tearing the tag off a pillow is still a crime because America is totally overregulated.
Let's welcome tonight's guests. Whenever you're YouTubing, look for Dave Rubin, creator and host, you can steal that, of the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin. She's so bright, lighthouses look for her in a storm. Her new book is called Hashtag Do Not Disturb. Author and TV host Jedediah Pila. She's trim, grim, and light of limb. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And the Eiffel Tower is his towel rack. Former WWE superstar and my massive sidekick, Tyrus, who is high here. All right. All right, Dave. You're a classical liberal.
I am.
You are. So I'm going to turn you into our "What's wrong with your party?" question. What's going on?
Well, first off, did I hear that correctly? That was leaking Dianne Feinstein?
Yes, I know.
Leaking, like he really is good at this.
He is. He is.
He really is.
It conjures up two different kinds of leaks. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Look, this was what was going to happen if you ran around for years screaming that every one of you guys and you evil people on Fox were all racists and bigots and homophobes. Of course, the end game was going to be that you'd end up using violence against these people and condoning it. And that thing in Portland, it's like these guys, they call themselves Antifa.
Yeah.
They're the FA. They're the fascists.
Yes.
They're the fascists. They literally dress like soldiers, Cobra soldiers from G.I. Joe,
Yes.
and they think they're the good guys.
Yes.
Like, something is seriously wrong.
I like that they self-appointed themselves as crossing guards. It's like, that's the first step.
Yeah, but also it's a type of mental disorder to be a white person screaming at another white person over his whiteness.
Yes, it's amazing.
That's a modern mental disorder.
Tyrus, I saw you practically leap out of your comfortable chair when you heard M word.
It took me a second. I was like, what word? White people attacking each other? The M words, the new N word?
Yeah.
It has never been a better time to be black. Man, I am like, we made it. Sorry. Like, I'd never seen a white guy talk to a white guy like that. That's hurtful. Like that sucks for him to be white and be talked to like that by another whiter guy.
Yes.
Actually, like what is that? White on white?
It's white on white violence.
Yeah, it's like bad, right? Okay.
It is
terrible, man. I feel bad for those guys, and it's amazing that they always. I never have those issues at a crosswalk. I've never had someone say, "Hey, go this way" or "Turn that way." They always pick the kind of guy who looks a little like you a little bit.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. It's okay.
He barely sees over the steering wheel, like this,
you know what?
Let's go pick on that kid.
He's height shaming. You are height shaming.
No, I'm car shaming. They need to make higher seats.
I don't even have a driver's license. This will never happen to me. But you were making a great point, and now I forgot what it was. Oh, it had to do with what they. Okay, so these two Netflix employees chased Brian Kilmeade, right? He was leaving his agent. They chased him down to a subway. Then they went into the subway, and they incited the people in the subway to target him. They won't do that to you, Tyrus, but they'll do it to kill me.
Especially if they chase me in a subway, because I'm luring them, not being chased. Because if you get in the subway with me and the door's closed, that's your ass. You're not getting
out. Jedediah, I will defend people who are out of power for their desire to express rage, but it seems like the left is always expressing rage whether they're in or out of power.
Yeah, they're always mad about something.
Yes.
Right? You can express rage, but you can't destroy property. You can't go out there. Everyone always talks and defends the First Amendment. I defend the First Amendment too, but you can't go out there and destroy businesses. You can't get in people's faces in restaurants and drive them out of spaces. That, I hate to break it to CNN, that is the definition of a mob. A bunch of people that make your life incredibly difficult, get in your face. And it's so crazy to me because you're seeing these people in most media outlets reveal themselves to be exactly who they really are. You have anchors that are supposed to be moderating the debate, and they're so mad and so defensive because Trump won, and they're still mad about it, and now they have to defend this mob that they're compelled to jump in and actually they're on the partisan side now. They're not playing anchor anymore.
They're not moderating. They're
crazy.
Mobberating.
It's crazy.
Kat, I want to talk about the teacher, but do you have thoughts about the mob, or would you like to discuss the third grade teacher?
I can discuss whatever you want. I'm very versatile.
Why don't you surprise me?
Well, I can do both quickly.
Okay, please do.
I can say, first of all, no judges on eating glue.
Yes.
When I was a child, I used to love to eat the delicious rock salts that they used to melt the snow.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I was actually quite popular in the first grade. As for the mob mentality, it wasn't just Hillary Clinton this week. It was also Eric Holder saying, when they go low, we kick them.
Yeah.
Not only is that not nice, that's also not very effective. Because if I am on the ground and someone is kicking me, I'm not going to be thinking, gee, I would love to thoughtfully consider this person's views on healthcare and immigration. I'm thinking, why is this kicking me?
Yes.
And so if they really want to actually have these meaningful dialogues about issues and actually make a change, then you have to be civil.
Yeah. We got to move on, but I don't understand. Somebody from the Hollywood Reporter call me and tell me why you would do that story when you're called the Hollywood Reporter and you're a movie industry journal. I don't understand it. I mean, if only there was a story about a producer who's been raping people for 25 years. Maybe that would be a story that the Hollywood Reporter could have covered. It was the summit heard round the world, Kanye, Trump, and a melting media.
Which is the only egg good enough?
Thursday, the West Wing became the holy crap, it's Kanye West Wing. As another day in Trump world reaped surreal unifying benefits. So how did the media take all this?
Wow. Okay, I'm doing this for everybody who's watching us who turned their volume down. You can put it back up again.
But if you think you're going to get a thoughtful play-by-play and political analysis, you're not. Because that was an assault on our White House.
Today was bonkers, and it was crazy. It was off the rails. I thought that was really sad.
Oh, sad. Didn't end there. Watch Don Lemon go low real fast.
This was an embarrassment. Kanye's mother is rolling over in her grave. I spoke to one of her friends today, or texted with one of her friends today from Chicago, Donda's friends. I used to live there. I know him. She said Donda would be embarrassed by this. He needs a father figure. He needs someone to help him and to guide him. And he needs a hug more than anything. Kanye, back away from the cameras. Go get some help. And then come back and make your case.
Oh, so I know somebody in this town, and so that means I know what his dead mother thinks. You're a Makes me wonder. You don't bring up somebody's dead mom. I'd wonder if he'd ever say that to anyone's face, or perhaps to Jim Brown, who was just 6 inches from Kanye. So when it was obvious, I mean, you could love it or hate it, but there was a lot of love in that room. CNN always delivers the hate. They're the hate channel. But Kanye doesn't care. I wonder if that hat gives him power in some way.
This hat, it gives me power in a way. I love Hillary. I love everyone, right? But the campaign, I'm with her, just didn't make me feel as a guy that didn't get to see my dad all the time, like a guy that could play catch with his son. There was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cape for me.
All right. So what was Kanye's message overall? It was about being the best. It was about making our own stuff here, making it better, and creating more jobs. Who does he sound like? Here's a hint. If he don't look good, we don't look good.
If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes, the best factories, and we're putting people in positions to have to do illegal things to end up in the cheapest factory ever, the prison system.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty impressive.
It was also pretty wild, and it was unique, but if these two want to work on better race relations or fewer murders in Chicago, who's to say they can't get it done? Only the bitter scolds of the naysaying media who wish it was them having an impact, not those two, especially this guy. He truly is a lemon. Jedediah, he's a lemon because he's bitter and sour about all of this. I get that this was kind of a spectacle, but the problem with a genius is that it all happens so quickly, and then you have to go back and you have to go through. And there were about 7 or 8 things that he talked about that were bigger points that were kind of missed. Even just stuff about, I don't know, even the stuff about Colin Kaepernick, about having him come to the White House. That's an important thing.
I mean, this made me really mad because I don't understand why Kanye, whether you agree with Kanye or not, I don't understand why he was treated this way. Like, what is the problem? All of a sudden now celebrities can't go into the White House. They've been going in the White House for years. Obama had a trillion celebrities come in. They weren't all policy experts. They were there to talk about some issues. They were there to give their take. This guy's just saying his piece, and nobody can stand that this guy has a different opinion from most people in Hollywood and most people in the mainstream media, so they got to take him out. They got to paint him to be psychotic, and he's a maniac, and he's ill, and they infantilize him, and they make fun of him. I understand maybe you didn't like this segment, but don't talk to me about how this guy, Kanye, is disgracing the Oval Office when you were defending Bill Clinton. Like, save it for another time, honestly. Nobody did there what Bill Clinton did.
Tyrus, I do think that there is some truth about the father thing, because when Kanye is talking to Trump, I believe that he sees him as a father figure.
Right? Why not?
Why not? That's my theory.
And that's a great theory.
Yes.
And you're coming to me to talk about fathers?
Well,
I don't have one either, Kanye. It's not a big deal. I got over it. The worst thing in this whole thing, which you're missing on the tape, was the hug scene.
Oh, I know. Because
here's the thing. Kanye was starstruck. He was so excited to meet his president. And he did babble, and he did act a fool, but every time people meet people in life that they are in awe of or have a love for, sometimes it gges a little jambled. Yeah. Like some of the people, I took pictures tonight with some of the people, and a few of them were like, hey, Titus, it was a good show. Or yo, Tyrone, can I get a picture? They know it's Tyrus, but in the moment, they got weird, or if the picture doesn't go fast enough, the wife says, oh, my husband's blind anyway. Remember that one? You know what I'm saying? They say weird things in the moment. And the one part was, Trump was, it's very hard to get our president speechless, and Kanye did that. He had him speechless.
Yeah.
But he went in for the hug. He went in for a, I love you, sir, hug. And Don went for the side, like, hey, like it was, that was the awkwardness. Watch that hug back where Don's like, yeah, watch. Like he he out-Trumped Trump in that situation.
Yeah.
And Kanye doesn't represent black people, doesn't represent singers, white people, angry white people who hate white people. He represented himself, supporting his president, and the media jumped all over it, but that was his moment with the president. He had every right to express himself that way. Good for him.
All right, Kat. You were pretty weird.
Yeah.
But interesting. Surreal.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I once saw a man bandage a bleeding toe with $20 bills on the subway. Yeah.
That was Ducey, right?
Yeah, it was, actually.
Yes.
But, yeah, and the love and tenderness between those two men, they were hugging, they were saying, I love you. I haven't seen any such innocent, pure, tender, innocent love like that since high school, when I was watching my high school crush and his girlfriend at the dance from the bleachers. But he was talking about a lot of issues that liberals should be excited about, like stop and frisk is bad, or like prison reform. These are things that liberals are always talking about as important issues. And rather than saying, oh, that's great, maybe the president's going to focus on some of these issues that matter to us, they have to hate on it, because hating on Trump is more important to them than solving anything at all.
Yeah, you know, Dave, I also think that people are a little envious of the impact that Kanye might be having. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there's a huge amount of jealousy here. First off, I want that hat. If that hat, he puts that hat on and he feels like Superman.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there are drugs in that hat. I want that hat. That would be pretty good. But, you know, what is the word? There's a word. I can't remember what it is. What's the word when you look at a group of people and you judge them on the color of their skin and not the content of their character? What would be the word for someone that would do something like that?
Titus.
Racist.
Yeah, this is the new racism. They don't want a black guy that's willing to say some uncomfortable things. And there's a pernicious new racism that's why they're freaking out, because they're actually losing control of a group of people that they've controlled for a long time. You know what they are, Greg?
What?
They're the M word.
Oh, how dare you! Disgusting. We must go to break.
They are actually, though.
Up next, how many Americans are tired of the politically correct? Let's just say more than a few. And have you bought my book yet, the Gutfeld Monologues? It's so good it'll make you throw up. It's available everywhere, but get this, if that's not enough, I'll be doing 2 live shows in December called the Gutfeld Monologues, and it's live, and the tickets are going fast. Grand Rapids, Michigan, San Antonio, Texas. I'm telling you now, so you got more than enough time to buy tickets for you, your relatives, and people you love. Go to gutfeld.com for ticket info.
Live from America's news headquarters, I'm Robert Gray. A White House welcome nearly 2 years in the making. Freed American pastor Andrew Brunson heading to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue shortly after returning to the U.S. Brunson praying for the president as the Oval Office meeting turned into a prayer session. Brunson was accused of spying and aiding terrorists. He was released after nearly 2 years in detention in Turkey. His freedom was a high priority for Christian evangelical leaders who praised the president for bringing him home. Hundreds packed a church in upstate New York to say goodbye to 8 people, including 4 sisters killed in a limousine crash. 18 people in the vehicle, including the driver and 2 pedestrians, died 1 week ago. The limo company's owner has been charged with criminally negligent homicide. I'm Robert Gray. Now back to the Greg Gutfeld Show.
Will we finally see the end of the PC? A new report found that 80% of the population believe political correctness is a problem in our country. And it's a belief felt by everyone, young, old, Black, white, Asians, Hispanic, Native Americans, all of them think PC thought sucks. I call that unity. 2/3 of Americans fall into the exhausted majority who are tired of the polarization and tiptoeing around the easily offended. And get this, only 8% of Americans are progressive activists. The leftiest of the left, those are the ones who push the PC, meaning only 8% is telling us what we can and cannot say. That seems like tyranny. Anyway, so has PC culture limited speech in any way? Well, I found some books that were supposed to be published this year, but because of the PC culture, they aren't going to be published. Here are a few of them, and I'm very angry about this. This is one of the first books I found right here. It's called Spotty Sally, Betty Blemish, and Pigment Pam. 1,000 funny names to call girls with freckles. Terrible. This is the stuff we're gonna lose. Your dad looks like your dad's best friend. No, sorry, you look like your dad's best friend. 500 clever sayings for birthday clowns. Oh, terrible. Well, this is the stuff we're missing. Kids who do cartwheels are stupid and have no friends. 100 facts about childhood no one told you because you smell. It brings it all home. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Your baby is actually really ugly. So stop bringing him to lunch, Deborah. This is really specific. I'm trying to get my unlimited mimosas on for $29.95. I think a producer wrote that for somebody at home. All right, this book is actually written by Ryan Gosling. Yeah, it's true. I find you grossly unattractive. A list of 10,000 Americans I find grossly unattractive. It's by, shall we stop there?
6 more.
One more? Let's see, how about this one? If you live at home until you're 25, you're not a struggling millennial, you're just a loser. I didn't see that one coming. All right, Kat, I think that this study is much bigger than people think because political correctness, if you look at the numbers, over 80% of each ethnicity detest PC culture. This could be the thing that unifies a country and kills identity politics.
I hope so, and I do find this encouraging, but I don't find it totally encouraging because you have to think about just how powerful that small PC-obsessed mob is. Because all they have to do is say that something's sexist or something's racist, and all of a sudden people might not want to associate with that, even if it's something totally ridiculous, like hoop earrings being racist cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
So one of the ridiculous examples that I've written about on National Review, if people hear that, they might just say, okay, I don't want to stay away from it because I don't want to be called a racist or a sexist. And so they have a lot of power in those accusations, even though they are in the minority. So we need to remember that they are in the minority and keep fighting for the ability to speak like normal people and act like normal people, because that's something that's very important.
Yeah, so attack the minorities is what you're saying. Jesus, Kat. Terrible. Don't applaud that. Okay, to her point, she is speaking about the big problem, which is there's a tiny mob that sounds like a large mob because they're so loud. They come after people like you. You had a guest on your show, Claire Lehman from Quillette. She said 3 words that I have not forgotten. Share the risk, which means if every single person shares the risk, the little mob goes away. But it's when we all hide because we go, well, maybe they won't come for me. It's the crocodile will eat you last theory. But everybody goes like, oh, they're going after Kat, but if they go after Kat, they won't go after me.
Yeah. Well, they get one and then they go for more. So if you stand there, then they will stop. This is what our friend Eric Weinstein calls the Chihuahua effect. That basically they're just a little yipping dog that's making a lot of sound, but you could kick that thing to the corner really easily.
You know, it's another sizeism on this panel. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, oh, I wasn't talking about you just because I said Chihuahua.
Well, that was my nickname in high school. Mainly because I was hairless. Iris.
The problem is the people that control that, it's the mainstream media, and it's people who have a large voice. Like a perfect example, when we've had situations where an opinion columnist will say something on a TV show that is tough, no one wants to hear it, and then someone will come on TV and be like, I was offended, and I don't think her sponsor should protect her, the sponsor should leave, and the CEOs will automatically bail.
HR.
Yeah, they will jump because it could be a problem. Instead of like, you know what, let's see what happens. Maybe this one bleeding heart crybaby isn't that important. But they give that power. They don't take it, we give it to them.
It's so true, and it's so frustrating, Jedediah, that like it's the corporates that will like just throw you aside if they don't want the problem. They don't want the bad PR.
Right. And it's interesting because I think people started years ago embracing the PC culture because they were like, you know, we want to be polite, we want to be nice. And now everyone's united because they're terrified to speak.
Yeah.
They're terrified to say anything out of fear that they're going to be labeled something. And it's this united terror. Like, people are afraid to tweet because you tweet something 25 years later, it could come back and you're out of a career.
Yeah, it's like herpes.
So now everyone's yes, exactly.
Not that I would know.
Well, did you see this week that the ABC executives, now they're saying that they may have jumped the gun by getting rid of Roseanne because they think the Connors is going to do poorly. It's like, oh, you got rid of Roseanne from the Roseanne show. I can't believe
it'll be reboot number 3.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, all I know is we missed out on a lot of great books because of PC culture. All right.
Fights.
What?
You can't have debates anymore.
You can't have debates. No, you can't.
It's a
can't
tool.
say anything.
Yeah. Sit quietly in a room and drink heavily. Up next, goodbye candy bars, hello prison bars of Virginia town, threatening teens with jail time. This is like the best ad ever if they trick or treat. When you turn 13. In Chesapeake, Virginia, anyone over 12 caught trick-or-treating could face fines and jail time of up to 6 months. In other news, I'm moving to Chesapeake, Virginia. Because it's not so much about the treating they care about, but the tricking, meaning taking pumpkins from porches and smashing them in the street. So is this ageist or appropriate? All I know is that banning 13-year-olds from trick-or-treating poses a problem for me, since for Halloween I often go as a 13-year-old. Anyway, so if you're heading out this Halloween and you're tired of all the usual costumes, do we have some ideas for you?
It's that time of year again, when you search and search for a Halloween costume, but can't seem to find the one that's right for you.
I'm tired of all these costumes that objectify my body. They all look the same. Honestly, I'm out of ideas.
Sounds like you can use a costume that's fair and balanced.
Hell yeah!
Introducing the Fox News Favorite Faces costume collection. Each outfit comes with a unique design, so there's no mistaking which cable newser you're representing this Halloween. Like the Brian Kilmeade. This costume comes complete with dark jacket, light shirt, khakis, and a bold but tasteful tie. Or how about the Steve Doocy, with his awesome-looking dark jacket, light shirt, khakis, and a bold but tasteful tie. We've even got Tucker Carlson, with his one-of-a-kind dark jacket, light shirt, khakis, and a bold but tasteful tie.
I don't know. Got anything else?
Then try the Greg Gutfeld.
Wow. Take my money now.
It's the Fox News Favorite Faces costume collection. Order now and we'll throw in this year's hottest costume, the My Pillow Guy.
Kat, you still trick or treat, and you're almost 40.
That is so mean. That is so mean. I don't still trick or treat, Greg.
Okay.
I drink now.
Oh, that's good.
Although
you trick or treated through high school.
I trick or treated all the way through high school. What was I supposed to do? Drink?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? I mean, other kids probably were, but they weren't inviting me, so I didn't drink. But I also just wanted to continue to be a child as long as possible. Certainly past the age of 13. When you're 13, you're still a kid.
Yeah.
Going out with your friends and getting candy is still a fun thing. And now that I'm pushing 30, I'm glad that I had those childhood memories. I mean, think about the founding fathers sitting there thinking about the future of our government in this country. I highly doubt that they would have envisioned the government interfering to stop a 13-year-old from asking a neighbor for candy.
Yeah.
Let alone putting them in jail for it. I mean, we've completely lost our minds.
The founding fathers did not invent Halloween, though. I think.
That's true, but George
But
Washington...
there was candy.
George Washington did have serious issues with his teeth.
Yeah.
Lots of candy.
Yeah, it's true. Made of wood. Do you still celebrate Halloween?
You know, he didn't have wooden teeth. That's
yeah, that's a lie. It's a lie. Yeah. Exactly. He had something else that was wooden.
I'm just tossing them up for you.
Yes. What do you make of this?
Yeah, well, I've noticed that almost everyone here is cursed tonight, so I'm going to say that this is just like these people. They want to just suck the fun out of everything. They want us to all be as miserable as they are. If you want to go get candy, get some candy. If you want to sit home and not have candy, don't have candy.
Yeah.
How about that for a radical position?
I like that, Tyrus. You home for trick-or-treaters?
Yeah, they're so excited when I come to the door. Like, I'm not a big Halloween guy just because no costumes fit.
Yes.
If I have like 2 choices, I put a bolt on each neck or throw some green stuff on my face. Like just
green stuff on
Halloween
your face.
is not my thing. But you know, this poses a lot of other problems. Like in that city, like our Comic-Con's going to be like sanctuary cities.
Yes.
Where like you can, you know, because I'm always going to go round those creepy bastards up in all those costumes because cosplay and dressing up costumes. Halloween's 365 now, Jack.
That's true.
Everyone's a sexy fox or lobster or whatever the hell, or unicorn. In your case, animals can be sexy. It's not my thing, but I'm just saying you could be a sexy fox if you wanted to. But the point is, like, this is exactly what Kat says: complete overkill. And 13-year-old's still a child. Like, and what happens if Dad dresses up with you and the kids run away from Dad for a second? Does he get tackled in the street and beat up?
It's true.
Sicko dressing up. You know, he's clearly over 13.
I usually tell people when I'm arrested that I left my kid in the park. Jed, I remember you showing up in The View dressed as Betty Boop.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
What chapter is that in the book, Greg?
That didn't make the
Page
book.
15.
I
Anyway.
did, and you said what about it? That you were on the Stairmaster and said, oof.
Yeah, she came out dancing as Betty Boop on The View, and it was so painful.
A giant Betty Boop head.
Yeah, it was bad. It was awful, and I feel bad for you. But you know what?
I like Betty Boop, though.
Yeah, what did Joy Behar come as?
I don't remember.
I think it was Joy Behar.
No.
It's great when people get arrested on Halloween because they get their mug shot in the costume. And my buddy, and I swear on a stack of Bibles or those books, he went in Halloween as a convict. So he was in stripes and he had like a plastic ball and chain. So he got arrested for, I'm not going to say what it was, but it's a common crime. And he was booked and in jail overnight, and everybody just ripped him to shreds.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Remember when Halloween was...
Tucker Carlson. How did you guess it? It's not Tucker. All right. We got another story after this.
Yeah.
Stormy's lawyer challenges Donald Trump Jr. to a fight. No, he's not clinging to the spotlight for dear life at all. Oh, would you please fight me, he asked, as his 15 minutes of fame almost passed. Yeah, just mere moments before plunging into the bottomless abyss of obscurity, Michael Avenatti, a.k.a. Captain Q-Ball, had some sad tweets this week. Guess he had some spare time after those gang rape claims against Kavanaugh fell apart, and now the cable news shows aren't taking his calls, so let's see what he's been tweeting about. He wants to challenge Donald Jr. to a mixed martial arts fight, of course, for charity. And then he listed charities he'd fight for, and that he was just waiting for Biff to confirm. Well, Biff hasn't confirmed, neither is Don Jr. I wonder if Mikey's doing any training for the fight. Hey, Tyrus.
Yo.
This seems like right up your alley.
I believe I will let my words do the talking for me. Do we have a cue of the response? He actually did get a response.
Yeah.
He did get a response. Do we have it? If Donald Trump Jr. can't do it, I'm your Huckleberry, and it's for a good cause. I'll donate my side of the charities to your choice. Hashtag good.
That would be fun.
I'm just imagining the visual of you and Michael Avenatti and
like Incredible Hulk and
oh my goodness. You know what I think is clever though? He cloaks his self-promotion in victims. So the first was Stormy Daniels, then the gang rape accuser, and now he uses charity. And all of this is like, I'm so compassionate, but it's just to keep his name alive.
Yeah.
I just don't get what's going on. You know? Like we have Joe Biden trying to fight Trump.
Right.
and now we got Avenatti trying to fight Trump Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just call each other names behind each other's backs?
Oh, that's nice.
That's what women do. What is with these men? It works out fine for us.
Yeah, it does. It does, Jed.
I like a good mud wrestle.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That in the book?
But that is in the book. Well played, my friend. And I would like to thank Tyrus and Greg GUTFELD for trying to sell my book tonight.
He's the worst lawyer ever, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
He has to be the worst.
He's a bad person.
Yeah, he is.
He really is a bad
He's just using his clients for the climbing towards the spotlight at CNN.
He will get a spotlight if he lets me take down Junior's spot. I guarantee you, I will give him 5, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Not even.
All right.
Not even.
Final thoughts, if we have them, next. Of time. Thanks to Dave Rubin, wonderful Jedediah, Catherine, Tyrus, our studio audience. I'm Greg GUTFELD, and I love you, America. He does too.